So it seems like the laser is bugged out. Let's see what happens. There's a ship right there in the middle of it. Oh, look at all that Karenite. There you go. Nothing happens. Welcome everybody to another episode of SC Haulers, where we're going over all the industry stuff, mostly hauling based, but industry based stuff in Star Citizen. And what a time to be a player of Star Citizen. They are implementing more and more industry stuff with every patch, and I think they're trying to push for implementation of the crafting system, which is going to be awesome once it comes in. But I don't want to get into speculation. Let's get to it. 4.1, Align and Mine. What is this all about? We'll get into that a little bit more later on, but there are some things cargo hauling related that they added into the game, ships and ground vehicles. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So first we're going to start with the Pulse LX. And this one isn't necessarily a cargo hauling vehicle, but if you're just starting out in Pyro and trying to get the red line hauling going, the Pulse LX might be useful to you. If you don't have the faction to go into some of the headhunters or the Citizens for Prosperity territories, this could be useful. You could use this to travel far distances very quickly. The only difference between the regular Mirai Pulse and the Pulse LX is the speed. In every other category, they are exactly the same. And the speed is, I don't want to say it's minimal, but it's very, very small. So for SCM speed, you have 218 meters a second. And for afterburner speed, you have 600 meters a second for the Pulse LX compared to the regular Pulse, which is 204 meters per second and 561 meters a second with afterburner speed. Next, we're looking at the RSI Lynx. This thing has no place on the battlefield. Obviously, it has a top turret for you to shoot. There is a driver's seat, a gunner seat. If you don't have a gunner, the driver controls the turret on top, which is nice. But inside the vehicle, there is no utility whatsoever. I find this to be a very good role-playing vehicle. There is really nothing else you would use this for. But it does look really, really nice, and it is a very cool vehicle for RPing or just even driving around and exploring, which is what it's meant for. It is designated as an exploration vehicle. I guess you could say the utility it has is it has a weapon rack, but awesome is this cooler that comes with interactable water. What? And it doesn't fall over when you drive? That's great. Now this one I am not going to test right now because I have tried it previously. Now I don't recommend buying this at the moment. It is broken, but I am super excited to see this vehicle in game because this gives you really the first ground vehicle that is designed for hauling cargo. It is a flatbed truck essentially. So moving on. Now I am a Crusader fanboy. I'm also a Drake fanboy. So seeing this ship, I'm not necessarily too excited about it because I've been involved in Star Citizen for a while. But if you are just starting out in Star Citizen, this might be the ship for you, especially if you want to do cargo hauling and logistics. This is the Crusader Intrepid. It is a starter hauling ship. You can see here you have 4 SCU of cargo there, another 4 here. So when it comes to cargo grid, you have 8 SCU of cargo. I just love how Crusader or CIG designs their Crusader ships. Like, as soon as you enter the ship, like that ramp comes down and it just feels professional. And so when you get into the ship, obviously you have your Crusader logo. There's not much to this ship. It is a starter ship, so you're not going to see all the flashy things like you would in like a Constellation Phoenix, or maybe an 890 Jump. But it still does look really good. Like, you have all your parts up front, at least your radar, your relay, so on and so forth. You go to the back of the ship, And there is a whole habitation area for you. Not a lot of starter ships have this. Like, there's a cooking area, a seating dining area, and you turn around. Oh, it's even got cup holders. Like, here's your shower, your toilet. Just to the side of that, you have your bed, your sleeping area. You have storage, and it's not full storage, but you have a weapon rack. You have some like helmet storage, which is really cool. Then you have an escape pod right next to your bed, which I don't think there are many starter ships with that, period. And then you go to the back of the ship and you have full access to all your cargo. There is an engineering terminal there. But all you do is just hit the button and you're looking at your cargo inside the ship. So you can look at it inside and outside. And then if you really want to, you can fit all your cargo or more cargo in the back of the ship. Also, if you need a fancy escape route, you can go out the cargo grid too. Now, forgive me, I've never been in this particular ship before. This is my first time, so enjoy the experience with me. This is the Anvil Terrapin Medical. And so it comes with a tier 2 med bed. And that's pretty awesome. Like, if you're just looking for a medical rescue ship, this is great. This meets all your need. It is a one-seater. So you're flying this by yourself and maybe doing medical rescues. That would be ideal, or an ideal situation for you to use it. But that's like pretty much the entire ship. There is no cargo space. It's just everything that's inside that you saw just in that short little bit. It is a tier 2 med bed and a pilot seat. And maybe there's like, I guess you could say there's areas for you to store more bodies, but that's the ship. And I bring the Terrapin Medic into this video for a specific reason, and that's going to go into the Align in Mind event that CIG has coming up in 4.1. So let's talk about it a little bit. The Align in Mind event, the basics of it is there is a new Banu creature, or Wicklow, that's what he calls himself, I guess. I don't know. His name's Wicklow. He has multiple locations across Stanton that you can go visit. And he's called the Collector, I guess. And so he collects multiple items. There are many leaks of what is inside his Emporium. If you're into that type of thing, I'm not going to show that here. The gist of what he wants is based on the Align in Mind portion of the event. Wicklow takes the items that you receive, but you have to go somewhere else to get them. And those two locations are Aberdeen in the Hurston Planetary System and Daymar in the Crusader system. So there are 2 ground locations on each moon. They're called PAFs, I believe. They have different names. It's like Atratus, PAF 1, 2, and 3, and then like Rapulus, PAF 1, 2, and 3. You can identify them fairly easily because they're in clusters on the map. And then in the center of them, in orbit, is the OLP, or the Orbital Laser Platform. The gist of it is you have to collect materials from the ground stations, take them up to the orbital platform, plug it in, go back to the ground, activate the laser, and then bam, you got access to everything you need after that. Now I'm going to leave you with a link to a community hub thing, a picture made by MrKraken. He's done this before many a times, and I appreciate his work very much. But there will be a link below, and you can see it on screen here, but it tells you how the orbital platforms work and what you need to do to get into that stuff. But there's going to be 2 things that you need specifically, and that is going to be the multi-tool with a mining attachment and this beautiful ground vehicle right here. This, my friends, is the rock. And at the beginning of the video, you saw that I was driving around in the rock around the laser. I haven't actually gotten the rock into the next area. But the rock is going to be a very important tool for you if you want to mine Karenite very, very quickly. Now, I'm not talking about speed at which you break the nodes. I'm talking about gathering the maximum amount that you can to complete these missions. Now the next clip is going to be a spoiler kinda of what you'll find in the next area after the laser activates. So if you don't want to watch that, you don't want to see, you want to find out for yourself, this will be the end of the video. Thank you. Just remember you need the rock and you need a multi-tool with an orbit attachment. And for everyone else that's sticking around, thank you. And this isn't going to be too revealing of a clip. And this is just a cave. The mining laser makes a cave for you to go into. This is going to give you the ores that you need to turn into the Wicklow merchant. And that's basically it. And you can see here in this video why you need a rock. There are going to be some minerals, well, it's Kharonite specifically, but you have the bigger Kharonite nodes that you'll need the rock to break. Your handheld device will not recognize it as something it can fracture. That's pretty much going to be it. And if you want, remember there is that picture that MrKraken put up on the community hub. I will have that linked in the description below if you want to know how to do all the 4.1 orbital platform stuff. Otherwise, get ready to mine, get ready to haul some rocks. If you want to see a video on how to mine, either by hand or with the rock, just let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see more videos in the future. And this is Saxavon from SC Haulers. We'll see you next time.